Wife claimed women don't need male validation, so I validated her single status. Be careful what you wish for. Update 2. The next morning I discovered she'd also made some other independent decisions, like canceling our weekend plans with my brother and his wife without telling me. I found out when he called asking if we were still meeting them at the lake. She canceled, he asked, confused. Why? I looked over at her sitting at the kitchen table with her laptop, pretending not to listen while obviously hanging on every word. Let me call you back, I told him. Care to explain? I asked her after hanging up. She didn't even look up from her screen. I don't need permission to manage my own social calendar. Those plans felt too couple-focused anyway. I'm exploring my individual identity right now. Our individual identity, I corrected. Those were our plans with my family. See, this is exactly the possessive behavior I'm talking about, she said, finally looking up with that familiar spark of confrontation in her eyes. My plans, your family, everything has to be filtered through male ownership. I stared at her for a long moment. She was clearly fishing for an argument, waiting for me to get angry so she could launch into another speech about controlling husbands. Instead, I just shrugged. You're right. Your social calendar, your decisions. I picked up my phone and called my brother back. Hey, change of plans. I'll be there solo this weekend. She blinked rapidly like I'd just spoken in a foreign language. What do you mean solo? Well, you canceled our plans to explore your individual identity, I explained patiently. So I'm exploring mine individually. The laptop screen suddenly became very interesting to her again, but I could see her jaw tightening. This wasn't the script she'd prepared for, but she wasn't done testing boundaries. Monday brought a new surprise. She'd signed us up for a couples therapy session without asking. It's this Thursday at 7 o'clock, she announced casually while I was making coffee. Dr. Martinez specializes in helping couples navigate modern relationship dynamics. I paused, coffee pot in hand. You made a therapy appointment for both of us without asking if I wanted to go. I don't need male permission to seek professional help for our relationship issues, she replied smoothly. This is about improving our communication. What relationship issues? I asked. She launched into a prepared speech about emotional availability, patriarchal conditioning, and the need for men to unlearn toxic behaviors. Apparently our relationship had more problems than I'd realized, all of them stemming from my inability to properly support her journey of self-discovery. And the fact that you're questioning my decision to seek help just proves we need it, she concluded triumphantly. I nodded thoughtfully. You know what, you're absolutely right. You don't need permission to seek help, just like I don't need permission to decline it. Her confident expression cracked slightly. You can't just refuse to work on our marriage. I'm not refusing to work on our marriage, I clarified. I'm refusing to attend therapy sessions I didn't agree to. There's a difference. She stared at me like I just announced I was joining the circus. In her world, husbands were supposed to either control their wives or be controlled by them. The idea that I might simply not participate didn't compute. Fine, she said stiffly. I'll go alone. Dr. Martinez can help me process having an uncooperative partner. Sounds perfect, I agreed. Very independent of you. That evening she escalated again. I found her in the garage loading boxes into her car. What's all this? I asked. I'm donating some things, she replied without looking at me. Decluttering my space, I looked closer at the boxes. They contained books, decorations and small appliances we bought together over the years, things with actual value and meaning. That's the coffee maker we got for our anniversary, I pointed out. I don't need sentimental attachment to material objects chosen by patriarchal gift-giving traditions, she recited like she'd practiced the line. I watched her load the last box. You're donating a $300 coffee maker because it represents patriarchal gift-giving. I'm simplifying my life and removing male-influence possessions, she corrected. Interesting philosophy, I mused. Does that include your wedding ring? Because technically that was chosen by a man too. She froze, her hand unconsciously moving to cover the ring. That's different. How so? For the first time in weeks, she didn't have a prepared answer. She stood there opening and closing her mouth like a fish out of water. It just is, she finally managed weakly. I helped her load the last box just to see her confused reaction to my cooperation. Need help carrying anything else to the car? I'd hate for you to strain yourself asserting your independence. She shot me a look that could have melted steel, but she was trapped by her own logic. If she accepted help, she was being dependent. If she refused, she was admitting the tasks were too much for her. I can handle it myself, she said through gritted teeth, struggling with a box that was clearly too heavy. Of course you can, I agreed pleasantly. Independent women are remarkably capable. As I watched her wrestle with boxes and furniture, desperately trying to prove points that nobody was arguing against, I realized something important. She wasn't seeking independence, she was seeking attention. Every declaration, every dramatic gesture, every bold decision was designed to provoke a reaction from me. But what happens when you stop giving someone the reaction they're fishing for? What happens when you actually give them exactly what they claim to want? She was about to find out, and judging by the increasingly frantic energy behind her independence demonstrations, part of her was already starting to suspect she might not like the answer. The breaking point came on a Saturday morning when I woke up to find movers in my driveway. Not our driveway, my driveway. Because apparently she'd made another independent decision overnight. What's going on? I asked. walking outside in my pajamas to find strangers loading our couch onto a truck. She appeared beside me with a clipboard, and that familiar defiant expression. I'm redecorating. This furniture doesn't reflect my personal aesthetic anymore. I watched our dining room table disappear into the truck. The table we'd saved up for months to buy. The table where we'd shared countless meals and conversations gone. You hired movers at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday to remove furniture we both own. I asked, keeping my voice level. I don't need male approval for design choices that affect my living space, she replied, checking items off her list. Besides, I already picked out new pieces that better represent my independent style. Your living space, I repeated slowly. Our living space, she corrected quickly, then caught herself. I mean the space where I live. As an independent woman making independent choices, I nodded toward the truck where our entertainment center was being carried out by two burly guys who looked like they'd rather be anywhere else. And these independent choices cost how much exactly? She shifted uncomfortably. That's not the point. The point is that I'm finally expressing my authentic self without male interference. Authentic self, I mused. Got it. And this authentic self cleared out our savings account to express itself. Her clipboard suddenly became fascinating. Strong women invest in their environment. It's about creating a space that reflects personal empowerment. Now you can watch the third part by pressing share and more.